UPS Customs coverage of CES 2023 is powered by Thermaltake and their new Series 500 cases. Available in black or snow options, Thermaltake gives you the power of airflow and performance with 4 included ARGB fans and massive radiator support. There's also option for an LCD side panel upgrade that displays system info, weather, time, and more. Check out these stylish new Series 500 TG cases available January 4th, and thank you to Thermaltake for making this video possible.
Please excuse my hoarseness as we go through the Gigabyte suite here. My voice is pretty shot after a full week in Las Vegas, but Gigabyte was showing off some pretty cool new products, and I wanted to make sure that we didn't miss them. First up is this. This is Project Stealth, and if it looks a little bit familiar, that's because this is the second iteration of Project Stealth that Gigabyte has brought to market. Now, the first iteration wasn't really all that well received, but this one they've made some changes on in the interest of better airflow, better aesthetics, and just an overall better experience. Project Stealth is essentially a DIY kit that you buy as a package, and the reason that you have to buy it as a package is because these components are all made to only work with each other. And the way they're made to work with each other is that they have no exposed cables. So there are manufactured products here that are specific to this use case, including an RTX 3070 and the Z690 Stealth motherboard. The way that Gigabyte has configured this build to not show any cables is that the motherboard and graphics card are all manufactured specifically so that the power connectors are hidden by the case. So the GPU has the power connectors out the back instead of out of the front, as you would normally see on a build like this, and the motherboard has all of the I/O as well as all the power connectors angled so that they are covered by the case panels. If we take a look around back, we can see all the connection points for all of your USB, your 24-pin, and your PCIe 8-pin connectors. This way, all of your cabling is hidden behind the motherboard tray, and the front is just completely clean. Now we have a couple of GPUs here to talk about, including the RTX 4080 Aero OC. The 4080, not really my favorite product, not really the favorite product of, I don't know, the internet right now, but still, any variety is good, and I like this version. I think it looks pretty cool. There's also a partner model of the 7900 XTX that Gigabyte is calling their Elite, and with all of the problems popping up with the AMD reference coolers on the XTX versions of these cards, I think that partner models are going to start moving a lot better, and the Elite is not an overly expensive card. I don't think we're going to see a huge price premium over the regular reference boards. And then we have, a 4070 Ti. That's me sighing. So this is the 4070 Ti Master 24G. I don't know why they call it 24G. It should be a 12G card, I think. But in any event, this is a pretty high-end 4070 Ti. It has what Gigabyte calls LCD Edge View. So there is a small LCD screen at the leading edge of the card that will display some information about it, like clock speeds and temperatures. It also has a pretty unique fan blade design with lots of ridges. And other than that, it's basically just your 4070 Ti, except maybe a little bit bigger, and it'll probably run a little bit cooler, and you could tell that I'm not really excited about this at all. Gigabyte was also showing off a ton of monitors at CES 2023. First up is the M32 UAE. Now, this monitor is pretty standard. It's 32 inches, 4K, 144 hertz. What makes this one a little bit different is that when you buy it, you get an arm instead of a stand. Now, the arm is fully articulating, and I was demoing it quite a bit. You could pull it out, push it in, up, down, tilt, swivel, and it has a lot more variety in the positioning than a standard stand would. And then we got this massive boy here, the Aorus F04-8U. This is a 48-inch 4K OLED. So it's going to have great color reproduction, 98% DCI-P3, 130% sRGB, and a decent amount of connectivity around back. And then we got this guy, the M32UC. This is a curved version of the very first monitor we looked at. So it is a 32-inch 4K 144 hertz panel. And yeah, those stats sound familiar. They're exactly the same as the M32UAE, but this one has a curve to it. Gigabyte was also showing off some of their cooling solutions for CPUs. This is the ATC800. It's a single tower dual fan cooler. I'm more into the next couple things that they had here on the desk, which was their WaterForce AIOs. So there's a WaterForce 360 and a WaterForce 240 that they were showing off here. Gigabyte said that these have new high performance pumps. They weren't specific about it, but I would assume that that means either Asetek Gen 7 or possibly Asetek Gen 8, which would be the new hotness. In any event, the water force coolers do come with an LCD screen on top of the pump, and it's compatible with basically any of the modern sockets, including AMD TR4. Now we have some laptops, and these are pretty cool. So Gigabyte has had laptops for a number of years now. They generally have them in two different lines, the Aero line and the Aorus line. The Aero is more targeted towards what they say is creators, but with the specs that these things are sporting, I don't really understand why they wouldn't be used by basically everybody, as well as being thin and light and having great screens. So they have two OLED versions, the Aero 16 OLED and the Aero 14 OLED, and they are available in different spec configurations. The ones that they were showing off here, the Aero 16 had a 13th gen Intel i9-13900H, as well as an RTX 4070 laptop GPU, which was just confirmed and announced by NVIDIA at CES this year. The 14-inch version has the same kind of hinge mechanism, the same look and feel, the same OLED screen, except it's kind of stepped down. So this is a 2.8K QHD Plus is what they're calling it. It's 2880 by 1800. It features an i7 processor, the 13700HX, as well as an RTX 4050. Again, these are going to be great for content creators because the screens are going to have very accurate color reproduction. They're very portable, very easy to carry around, very lightweight. They also are built very well, and I think that something like this would be perfect for people editing on the go at CES. So it's a shame that I don't have one. And then they had a couple of Aorus laptops. Now, I'm not going to get too in-depth with these because they've had the Aorus gaming brand laptops for quite a while, but they are more gamery focused, and they actually do come with full keyboards, including numpads. I'm not a huge fan of numpads on keyboards. I tend to think that the keyboard setup on a laptop is cramped as is, and jamming in more keys just is not really a great situation. I don't find myself being able to type all that well on them. But these are going to be gaming laptops. They're a little bit more powerful. They're focused more on graphics and performance, and probably should be used plugged in because you're going to be running the GPU at full bore all the time. But, you know, these do sell, and they are very popular. They can be used for content creation if you want, but they are, again, bigger. They started at a 15-inch, and Gigabyte also has a 17-inch version. The hinge design is a little bit different and allows for better cooling at the back and a bigger battery in the chassis. Now let's talk about the most exciting thing I saw in the Gigabyte suite, the Aorus 10000 SSD. This is a Gen 5 NVMe drive using a Phison controller and capacities of 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, and 4 terabytes. But speeds are off the charts here. Write speeds up to 10K megabytes per second. Read speeds up to 12K megabytes per second. And it comes with this massive and goofy heatsink because it's gonna need it. Putting one of these things below a standard motherboard heatsink might just not be enough. These are going to generate a good amount of heat, but the speeds that you get out of them is going to be worth it, and I'm definitely going to try them out when they arrive later this year. So that is a wrap from the Gigabyte suite at CES 2023. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our sponsor, Thermaltake, for sending us out to Las Vegas for the show. Check them out at the link down below in the video description. And also let me know what you think of anything that you saw here at Gigabyte. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.